That's how it works. An eye for an eye. It's called vendetta.
Hello FPL managers, yes, we're back again with another video for the Fantasy Premier League 2021-22 season. It's the Game Week 22 preview, and yes, I know I've been away for quite some time. Didn't even get to drop the Game Week 21 preview video. The Game Week 21 was quite long and grueling. Finally come to an end, and we can finally address some of these FPL issues. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 400 subscribers as quickly as possible, so help a brother out. Hit that red button and let's get straight into dissecting this game week. So long story short, this is how we ended up in game week 21. I took a -8 hit for game week 21. I brought in Everton assets, and regrettably, second double game week fixture didn't hold against Leicester City, so I was stuck with Pickford with 1 point and Gray on 2 points. In fact, my backup goalkeeper Backman had 5 points, had more points than both of them combined. So it was a very poor game week indeed for me. Added to the fact that a lot of FPL managers captained Jarrod Bowen, and I went and captained Antonio. So it was a red arrow, of course, dropped down to 133,000 on FPL. So it wasn't a good game week, but it wasn't exactly terrible. So I'm not going to act like it was a completely terrible game week. The only other thing that I didn't like about this game week was I went ahead and made my transfer. Even while the game week was going on, I took out Salah and brought in Son, and I did that just to beat the price change, and he eventually did go up in price. Salah went down after I sold him, and Son went up by 0.2 million after I brought him in. So it was initially looking like a good transfer, and then all of a sudden Conte comes out and tells us that Son is going to be missing for like a month. So that just pissed me off, and I just abandoned FPL for some time, went and started playing the AFCON fantasy. But I'm back now. I've healed. I've taken some time to analyze my situation, and I think we can still survive this. So this is how the team ended up. We ended up with 69 points. Took the -8, so that left us with 61 points for game week 21. Funny enough, our free hit team for game week 21 did quite well. Got us a total of 90 points. If you look, you would notice that I captained Jarrod Bowen on the free hit team, and that's because Jarrod Bowen had a higher ceiling between the two, but Antonio was the safer pick, if you know what I mean. So I went with a safer pick, and since it was a free hit team, I could afford to go with a little bit more risk and put the captaincy on Bowen, and he came in with 42 points. If you're one of those FPL managers who tripled up on Bowen, then you're living happy days. On the free hit team, we tripled up on West Ham assets, doubled up on Spurs assets as well, and the team looked quite good, and I'm quite happy with how that turned out. So 90 points, happy days for anyone who followed this template and did quite well in game week 21. For game week 22, we've decided to go with a team with a few more doubles than we had for game week 21. In goal, I've decided to go with David De Gea, and he's facing Aston Villa and Brentford away. Manchester United don't have the best defense at the moment, but with these fixtures, I don't think you'd be too surprised if they had a clean sheet in one of these games. Much like Fabianski in game week 21, all he needs is just one clean sheet, and he's gonna have respectable points. Fabianski came in with 9 points last week, and De Gea could possibly come in with the same amount of points for this week. Okay, so De Gea in goal. In defense, we've gone with Trent, who only got one game week this week. He's playing Brentford at home. Kufal is playing Leeds at home, and we've gone with Reguilon, who's doubling, facing Arsenal and Leicester City. Arsenal seem to have a few problems with the creative players. Odegaard and Smith Rowe don't seem to be fit at the moment, but Leicester seem to have Patson Daka back, so You might be thinking maybe Reguilon can get a clean sheet in one of these games, maybe the Arsenal game, but we'll see. He's a good attacking fullback, so he can also contribute in the attack. So he's the player we're going for in defense, who's doubling. In midfield, we're going with KDB at home to Chelsea. We've gone with Gray, who's facing Norwich. Norwich are really terrible right now. And then we've gone with Lucas Moura facing Arsenal and Leicester, and Tielemans, who's facing Burnley and Tottenham. This team has been created with about £100 million, so you could have Maddison in your team if you can upgrade Tielemans. But this is who we've picked for this free hit team. In attack, we've gone with Maupay, who's facing Crystal Palace and Chelsea at home, and Ronaldo, who's going to be our captain, facing Aston Villa and Brentford away, and then Dennis, who's got two quite easy fixtures against Newcastle and Burnley. Although both games are away, I expect him to do quite well. So this is the free hit team for game week 22, and hopefully we're gonna be looking at this team at the end of the game week and talking about how well the team did, just like in game week 21. Okay, so as for transfer plans for game week 22, like I said, I already made the transfer of taking out Salah and bringing in Son, and you can see his red flag there. So terrible turn of events, but we have to find a way to survive it. As the team stands, I can field 11 players. That's 10 outfield players and 1 goalkeeper, as well as having 1 player on the bench. So it's not as bad as it looks, but it can be much better when you consider that this team only has 2 doublers and really no Son and no really premium player that we would want to captain. So I'm really torn on taking a hit to rectify this problem, because I took a -8 last game week and that didn't turn out too well, and I don't know if taking another hit is the way to go this week. So if we decide to go with the team as is, would go with Bachmann in goal, who's facing Newcastle and Burnley away, and then in defense we would have Trent, who's kind of flagged, facing Brentford at home. We've gone with Dawson facing Leeds at home, and Target, who's at home to Manchester United. In midfield, we'll go with Bowen at home to Leeds, Gray away to Norwich, Jota, who's at home to Brentford, and Gundogan at home to Chelsea. And then our forwards would have Tony, who's got 2 very difficult fixtures against Liverpool and Manchester United, and we've gone with Antonio at home to Leeds, and Watkins, who thankfully is fit, who's facing Manchester United at home. So as you can see, this team is not impressive whatsoever, and finding it very difficult to find a player who I can confidently captain. As you can see, the captaincy armband is on Bachmann, just because he's doubling and just because those fixtures are kind of easier. So the captaincy armband is on him if we're gonna be going with the team as is. But I may be taking a hit if I convince myself that there's an upside to taking the hit this game week. That wouldn't hurt me too much. It's all about getting in the right player, and if I can do just that, then I may be able to have a good game week in game week 22. So a few players I'm considering: the Brighton players, Cucurella in defense. He's facing 2 home fixtures, and Maupay in attack. So if I think I would want to take out Tony, who's got 2 very terrible fixtures, plus he's on very bad form, then Maupay can come in place of Ivan Toney. So if Trent is unable to face Brentford at home, for instance, then Cucurella can come in, and he's got Crystal Palace at home as well as Chelsea at home. So I expect that he can fill in for any defender who gets ruled out, or any other player who isn't able to feature due to COVID or for whatever reason. Maupay definitely will be able to replace Ivan Toney, and another player that I'm considering is just bringing in Dennis, just in case I don't think Ivan Toney is gonna yield me any results, because I don't want to take out Watkins or Antonio, even though they're having single game weeks. They've got really good game weeks after game week 22, so I want to keep them in my team. Dennis is someone who could probably get us more points than Ivan Toney. So I may be bringing him in place of Toney. So Kevin De Bruyne is another player that I'm considering, even though he's only having one game week in game week 22 at home to Chelsea. He could just come in place of Son, and then I can probably put the captaincy armband on him, and then he has very good fixtures after game week 22, so he's someone who I can keep in my team until Salah comes back from AFCON. So that's the upside of bringing in someone like KDB in place of Son. And if not KDB, then probably Leicester City's Maddison. He's got a double game week, and I think he can probably fill in quite well for Son, who's injured, because he's on form, and with Patson Daka back in the mix, that will help his creative ability, and there'll be a higher chance of him bringing in points for us this game week. Okay, so these are the players that I'm considering for game week 22, and this is how the team is gonna look. I'm only going to be taking a -4 hits this game week, even though it's a double game week. I don't want to go in too hard on these hits, because that's going to keep taking me down if I don't pull them off. So this is how the team is going to look. Whatever happens, I'm going to update you guys on my Twitter account. So follow me on FPL at FPL Vendetta on Twitter for any further updates. But at the moment, this is how the team looks, and this is how we're going to face game week 22. Okay, so don't forget to like this video, and don't forget to subscribe. We're still trying to hit 400 subscribers as quickly as possible. Help a brother out. Click that red button. All there's left to say is good luck, have fun, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.